You are watching Access LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next is the December 7th, 2022 meeting of the Michigan City Parks and Recreation Board. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Good evening and welcome to the Michigan City Park Board meeting of Wednesday, December 7th, 2022. If you can please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Shannon, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Lasher?
Here.
Mr. Freeze?
Here.
Mr. Lane?
Here.
Mrs. Sperling?
Here.
All right, the minutes from our previous meeting of November 16th were prepared in advance and presented. Unless there are any questions or comments or edits, do you have a motion to approve?
I would move we accept the minutes as printed.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Any project updates, old business or table business tonight?
No, sir.
Okay, we'll go right into the lengthy new business items. First is the Windy City Kites MOU renewal.
Yes, and Mike Dramba from Windy City Kites is here tonight, also known as Kite Board Mike. This is a renewal of his MOU that he's had for the fifth year,
At least the
fifth year, I think. The only changes to this is the indemnification language, which we did earlier this year to make all of our contract standard. And then our insurance carrier suggested that we charge a annual fee instead of a percentage of lessons. In his opinion, he thinks that lowers our liability in some way. So the $150 fee in this contract is just the it's a 4-year average because I took out 2020 for COVID. So those are the two changes to the agreement. I would like to note though that this particular MOU gives Mike's company exclusive rights to teach at the beach. This is important because we have had others out there this summer that do not have an agreement with this department that were charging for lessons on our property. So I just want to make that clear that this is an exclusive MOU for Windy City Kites.
Thank you, Shannon. Questions or comments from the board?
I'm certain this has been brought up, but is the time was what, from 9 to 5? Someplace in here there was a time. But what about the dates? Is it just whenever the weather's
whenever the weather is conducive, it's when we're doing this. So,
Yes, good evening and welcome. Please come to the microphone.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
it's good to see you all again. It's been a while. So during daylight hours, whenever the weather's conducive, the wind has to be a certain way and temperatures have to be right. And the water has to be liquid. So we were out March 1st this year.
no?
And
Any other questions or comments?
No, just a comment. You guys are very brave, but it's really fun to watch you out there. That's just amazing.
well, you should join us. No, it's a pleasure. I mean, we're trying to bring people out there and do it safely, and it's a pleasure to continue my workshops with you guys in the spring, your beach staff, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and it's so neat when there's a lot of you out there to see the colors in the sky. And,
Dancing around. That means it's a good day in Michigan
yes,
City.
yeah.
Yeah, always.
Any questions from the public? Seeing none, what's the pleasure of the board?
I would move that we pass this memorandum of understanding.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Thanks for your partnership and good luck.
Thank you, everybody. See you
You're
again.
welcome. I didn't finish. It was a quick one.
All right, now we have the Zoo Society MOU.
Yes, President of the Zoo Society, Johnny Stinley, asked that the board table this until your December 21st meeting.
Okay. Any
Table in this one? Is that what-
The recommendation.
I would move that we table the memorandum of understanding between the Michigan State Park and Recreation and the city's Zoological Society until our last meeting this year, which is 21st.
21st. I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries.
Shannon, in regard to the MOU, it requires that they submit an annual report. Have they been, or did they submit that?
So their annual report is just my spreadsheet of how many lessons and what they've paid.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm referring to the zoo MOU. The Zoo
Oh,
Society
no.
needs to submit.
No, we have not received an annual report.
Okay, thank you. All right, next up is the Patriot Park concession lease renewal.
Yeah, so that was also included in your packet. This is the third year of a 3-year lease. Ed and I did meet with Kim Martin, the owner of Bubbles. They had a pretty good year out there. She gets a lot of compliments. She said that they have better concessions than any of the other parks that the tournament players play in, which she does have some unique items and healthy items, which I appreciate. We did talk about some maintenance items that we can address in the spring. We've talked to our maintenance director, Pat Wiltz, about that. Overall, she was pleased and would like to enter into the third and final year as a concessionaire at Sideline Concession at Patriot Park.
Thank you, Shannon. Questions or comments from the board?
I had one question. So she pays rent year round. It was like a monthly rent of 400.
No, it's not year round, April through September, and then she can choose to extend the season through October if she requests that in writing. And
Oh,
that's
so it's 400 a month for those months.
for those months.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Okay.
Any other questions or comments? Shannon, I have one. I read through here. I didn't see where they have a requirement to provide any financial annual report. If there is one, we should just make sure that we get it. If it's not in the agreement, we should probably consider including it for next time we bid this out.
Okay.
And the reason for that allows us to gauge what sort of volume they're doing. So if we ever do a percentage of lease, which it'll help compare it against previous contracts.
I'll make note of that when we go to the next year. And I'm certain that if I asked Kim Martin that she would submit that for this year as well.
Okay. Mainly sales is what we're interested in.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Any other questions or comments? Questions from the public? Seeing none, what's the pleasure of the board?
Did I understand correctly? You recommend this for the next contract, not added?
Yeah, I didn't want to, it'd be unfair, I think, to change the
Okay.
agreement since it's a 3-year renewal.
I just want to make sure. I
Unless it's
understood
something
that.
Yeah, thank you.
I would move, excuse me, I would move that we pass the Patriot Park concession operation lease agreement.
I'll second.
Bubbles.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
All right, next we have the Hatfield Pest Control Service Agreement renewal.
So items D, E, and F are all in their third year of a 3-year contract. So we will go out to bid next fall. I did speak with all of our directors and they were all happy with the services of Hatfield Pest Control, Republic Services, and Service Sanitation. So I would recommend that we issue a renewal for 20.
Okay, unless there's an objection from the
I don't
board.
have objections. At Michigan City Golf Course, Randy Durham is no longer the contact, is he?
He's not, but I think they updated on the cover
Yeah,
page there.
update for the
I
contact.
said John Marshall.
No, yeah, Marshall. I was just looking here on the second page. Okay.
Yeah, that notice would go out for the renewal with the updated contact information.
With this being a 3-year contract, does the price stay the same then every year? Like that's decided before the 3-year contract is accepted?
Correct.
Whatever was in the
Okay.
agreement.
And they didn't have any changes with all the increase and all the raw materials of things?
So they bid it for 3 years. It's their third year. So
Yeah.
we already have the prices for all 3 years of the contract. So they
Right.
can't change those without coming back to the board.
Yeah,
Typically, you will see an increase year by year when they bid it.
yeah,
They bid for inflation.
right.
But at this point, no, they're not.
Wow. Okay.
Unless there's an objection from the board, why don't we take credits on all three of these since they were recommended by Shannon to renew? So you have questions on any of these three, and then we'll approve them together unless there's an objection from the board. Okay,
And the same with Republic Services. That price before the 3-year starts is what it is for every year. It doesn't go up each year, even within the contract.
unless there's a inflation clause in the contract.
Oh, okay. Okay. And there isn't with any of
It's not
these.
in any of these three.
Wow. Okay.
I did have one question on the service sanitation agreement. I think last year or maybe the year before, we increased the number of cleanings. And is that reflected anywhere or is that a separate agreement?
So they bid the contract out, but they bid additional services. So any extra cleaning, if you were to bring, if there was another major event, we had to bring in hand washing stations.
Mhm.
Those are all bid out at the unit price for the 3 years.
Very
So
good.
that's how we incorporated those.
Thank you.
And we've gotten no complaints since we've doubled our cleaning.
So if we add events after this is signed, then that everything extra would be an extra charge or a la carte or whatever, right? Like if we, it's like last year we had a lot of requests for, they were small events, but that would be just extra on top of this.
Correct.
Yeah.
But at the quoted unit price.
I was gonna say, that was my next question. So they honor that price. Wow. Okay.
We might see escalation clauses in the future because of the inflationary time.
Yeah.
Or before, so minimal inflation.
Right, right.
Really considered.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any other questions or comments on the three?
Mm-mm.
Any questions from the public? See none. Do we have a motion to approve the service agreement renewals for Hatfield Pest Control, Republic Services, and Service Sanitation?
I so move that we approve the 3rd year of the 3-year agreement with the board for Hatfield Pest Control, Republic Services, and Service Sanitation.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
All right, now we have the old bandstand preservation project bid documents.
Tonight before the board, the bid documents for the old bandstand project. They have been approved by our attorney, Laura Nuremberg, and also our grant specialist. The drawings and specifications were sent down to the State Historic Preservation Office, and they are fine with projects moving forward. So we're looking at construction mid to late March, depending on the weather breaking. Hopefully we'll be having a ribbon cutting in June or July of this year.
Thank you, Shannon. Questions or comments from the board?
I just have one real quick. I know we've talked about this project a few times this year, and I forgot, what did it cost to have the Kill Architecture do this? I mean, this is just incredible, this detail. I've never seen, I mean, I'm new, so I haven't seen anything like this. So I was just curious what that cost. Do we got to start over?
If you read this, it's almost the instructions that from the very beginning, you do this,
Yeah.
this, and this.
It's like
The
every
detail,
note.
as you had mentioned.
Right. It's
It's
unbelievable.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of work here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's also interesting is the Shannon puts together a nice lead sheet here, which walks you through from the start to
Yes.
finish and what's to expect.
Yeah.
And you can tell the amount of collaboration and steps, just this project, because it really goes to 2 pages and
Yeah.
here we find ourselves, but it's just
Yeah.
a tribute to what it took to assemble all the grants and the funding for this project, where it's all funded by the Barker Foundation and grants and no city tax dollars.
Mhm. Yeah.
So in addition to, we have the bid specifications here. We also have to approve the notice to bidders.
So I'm asking you to approve the whole packet. Which is,
Which
yes.
includes
bid
the notice to
documents
bid.
Includes the notice to bidders, which he would sign. Yeah.
Very good, thank you.
You're right.
Any other questions or comments from the board? From the public? All right, seeing none, do you have a motion to approve the old bandstand preservation bid documents, including the notice to bidders?
I would make that motion.
I'll second it. Are you done?
All in favor, say aye.
Yeah.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
All right, now we're getting into the section of the agenda where we have some job descriptions. So I guess starting with the foreman mechanic craftsman job description.
So actually, H and I, both of these positions were approved by the mayor and the city council to add into our 2023 budget. So these are 2 new full-time positions, which requires the approval of a job description for each. These are in the city's standard format. So I would recommend we approve those. Thank the mayor and the council for much needed extra staffing.
Awesome.
Thank you, Shannon.
You're welcome.
Questions or comments from the board in regard to H and or I, unless there's an objection not to do them both simultaneously.
I just have a question on the zoo maintenance craftman. They have work schedules from 8 to 4 Monday through Friday. What do we do in case there's an emergency on Saturday or Sunday? Is he on call?
All the zoo staff, as well as our maintenance staff, is on call.
They're on call.
So,
Wow.
yes, they would have to address emergencies, and that would go into most cases an overtime situation.
Mhm.
Other questions or comments? I have one on the foreman maintenance craftsman. It doesn't necessarily, or at least I didn't find it, spell out or describe who this job reports to, where the other job description, the zoo maintenance craftsman, does. So I didn't know if that was an oversight or if I just missed it.
I think that's an oversight.
Oh, I found it. No, it's on page 4 under responsibility. Covenant reports directly to maintenance director. Sorry about that. Any other questions or comments? Questions from the public? Seeing none, do we have a motion to approve the foreman maintenance craftsman job description, zoo maintenance craftsman job description?
I so moved that we approve the foreman maintenance craftsman job description along with the zoo maintenance craftsman job description.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
That takes us to the revision to the director of golf job description.
So the next 3 items are also related. At some point in the past, we changed our green superintendent title to director of golf. And that's when we had the contracted golf pro. So director of golf was actually the one person that was in charge of the entire golf course. Now that we've got a new full-time golf pro position available in 2023, I would like to change their titles back to green superintendents, because it's very confusing to have a golf pro and a director of golf. In the golf industry, they pretty much, those are interchangeable terms. So all 3, that's really all that changed on here was the title.
Thank you, Shannon. It's a lot easier to understand who we're talking about or talking to. This new designation.
No problem.
So we can take these one at a time, or unless there's an objection, we can ask questions about all three and vote on all three simultaneously.
I have one question, and I may have missed it in here, but I mean, it's very, very complete. But I was wondering if there is difficulty on the golf course as far as the botanical aspect occurs. In other words, if there's something with fungus, algae, anything like that, entomology, insects and that, who is in charge of taking care of that? Is that something where we would go out and maybe contact Purdue, or do the individuals that are here have knowledge in that area?
So that would fall under the green superintendent ultimately, and then the staff underneath him. Our staff is extremely knowledgeable. They do get extra training every year for emerging issues on golf courses. So I honestly don't ever remember them having to call in an independent contractor for anything on the greens other than aeration.
Okay, I was just a clear,
So,
thanks.
yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate the clarification. Thank you.
Situations.
Other questions or comments? I do have one other one. It's similar to the one I asked before about who the person reports to. The assistant green superintendent identifies who that person reports to, as does the assistant green superintendent mechanic. But the green superintendent under responsibility does not. I didn't know if, would that be responsible to or reports to the superintendent?
Correct.
So maybe if we can add that to the green superintendent job description, just to be consistent with all the others. If that can be added in the form of a motion when we get to that point, that'd be great. Any other questions or comments about any of the three job descriptions? We don't want to rush anyone, so. take your time.
I just thought I read that, but I guess I didn't. You want a motion?
Yeah,
I would move if we pass items J, K, and I, the new title for green superintendent as opposed to director of golf. And add to that he is responsible to report to the superintendent.
thank you.
And the assistant greenkeeper as is. And the assistant green superintendent mechanic as printed. That's my motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried.
All right, now we have the final drawings and specifications for the senior center renovation project.
Yes, thank you, President Latchford. In your packets, you'll see the complete drawings and specifications provided by GM Podorchik and Associates. And this is a project that we discussed before about new flooring, painting, and hopefully relocating the offices. And we're hoping that you approve these plans and specifications.
Thank you, Ed. Questions or comments from the board?
The additional funding needed, is that kind of covered? I know you're,
That's correct. There is additional funding needed if the project would go into relocating the offices. 175,000 was granted for this project, but we will need another 25,000, hopefully from the non-reverting fund from the senior center account, and another $27,075 from city funding. And I'll be going to the ARP meeting tomorrow night, hopefully recover money that way.
Thank you, Ed. Other questions or comments?
so then what are we voting on? If we don't have the money yet, are we voting on it? Or how does that work?
The drawings,
Just the drawing? Oh,
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
drawings and specifications.
okay.
So we can okay the
Oh.
drawings, and as far as the finances, that's another
And we
Give
can't-
it a vote?
we can't bid until we.
Right, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Ed, in regard to moving the offices, which I think is a great idea, it's that's been in kind of our bailiwick, our plans for a long, long time. So it's nice to see this finally to the point where we're getting it done. I don't have a good enough memory though of where the offices are now. When we move them, what's in that spot? Are they just windows along the wall there?
Windows that would give the view of the lake, which I think everybody is agreed that.
Yes.
Will help cities.
Yeah.
Generally, most just possibly.
Yeah.
Sure. Up there like that.
It makes more sense than
I thought so too.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I know. I know.
Yes, it is. Excuse me. Sure. Thank you.
All right. Any other questions or comments?
I just remember Tara one time stating that she has a beautiful view, but her desk is facing the other way. No one got to enjoy it.
Yeah, right.
Any questions or comments from the public? Seeing none, what's the pleasure of the board?
I would move that we accept this final design and drawing and specifications for the senior center.
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
All right, on to the resolution portion of the meeting. And as we've done in prior meetings, unless there's an objection, I'll read the preamble for the first one and then just read the line items of all the others. And seeing no objection, I'll start with resolution number 990. Whereas the superintendent of Parks and Recreation has reported that certain transfer of funds are necessary within the budget of the Michigan City Park and Recreation because of unanticipated expenses from various accounts which do not have sufficient funds available for disbursement for said expenses. And whereas there are funds available for said expenses in various other accounts which are not expected to be paid from the accounts during the remainder of the budget year. And whereas the Michigan City Park and Recreation Board has determined that said expenses are necessary and that account transfers should be made in order to meet said expenses. Now therefore be it resolved that the following transfer be made from the following named accounts to the following named accounts for the purposes stated therein. Okay, that's the preamble. Now, just the regular line item stuff. This is what we'll read on the following resolutions. Decreased fund 2056504 zoo fund, electric 2,500, sewage 1,000, zoo food 10,300, pesticides and chemicals 800. Increased fund 2056504 zoo fund, seasonal wages 10,000, water 1,600, and repairs and maintenance 3,000. Any questions or comments in regards to resolution 990?
I just want to ask the one question. All these resolutions, these are overseen by you, Mr. Shin, and you, Shannon, right? So the details of this is because we approve these, but you guys know the details and it has to be approved by you, right? Okay.
These are just all typical year-end transfers. With the exception of one on the zoo, they transferred $6,000 to put in a safety slide gate.
Mhm.
Mainly it's utilities this time of the year. We run short, so they have to transfer.
Yeah.
But yes, they are
Okay.
overseen.
And then my second question is when they have extra money in certain funds like they do, does it just so happen that these expenses are needed, or do we look to spend that money this year within that year, or when we're under budget, I guess, over
Under
budget?
Budget, that's always a good thing.
Yeah.
Do we look to spend that? No, not if necessary.
Yeah.
You know, our goal is always to spend as little as possible.
Mhm. And then if it's not spent, where does that money go?
It goes back into the city's general fund.
Okay. Okay.
And then that money is used to fund the city's upcoming budget for
Got it.
2023.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments in regard to resolution number 990? None. Do we have a motion to approve?
I so move that we approve resolution number 990.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried.
Resolution 992, decrease fund 2011 recreation non-reverting fund, small tools 400, increase fund 2011 charges and fees 400. Unless there are questions or comments, do we have a motion to approve resolution number 992?
I so move that we approve resolution number 992.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
All right, now we have resolution 993, and that's decrease fund 2056-502, administrative fund, seasonal salaries 10,500, parts and repairs 4,348, travel 295, printing contractual 3,477. And then increase fund 2056-502, administrative fund, electric 3,900, sewage 4,220, service charges and fees 10,500. Unless there are questions or comments, do we have a motion to approve resolution 993?
I so move that we approve resolution number 993.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried.
All right, now we have resolution 994, decrease fund 2056-505, maintenance fund, seasonal salaries 9,500, increase fund 2056-505, maintenance fund, diesel 3,000, sewage 500, contractual 6,000. Unless there are questions or comments, we have a motion to approve resolution 994.
I so move that we approve resolution number 994.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Shannon, is there any other new business we need to attend to?
Nope.
All right, we'll move right into officers' reports. Mr. Shannon,
Thank you, President Latchford.
you're welcome.
This evening, I would like to report on the golf course, park maintenance, and the zoo. At the golf course, leaf removal is complete. This group does not hibernate. They are presently pressure washing the equipment, preparing to take on the annual job of maintaining the golf carts and the disassembly of the mower equipment to change out blades and totally recondition. Golf course was officially closed December 1st and was closed for 14 days in November due to snow and cold weather. In the clubhouse, memberships are being sold. Discount deadline is December 28th for the memberships. And a deep cleaning of the entire building has begun by the assistant manager. Park maintenance. The park maintenance are being constantly praised for their dedication and expertise to meet the deadline to light up Washington Park. After a very successful parade Saturday evening, the Festival of Lights was admired by spectators that took part in the ceremonial countdown at the library as Mayor Perry threw the switch to light up Washington Park. Park maintenance currently are adding a few more displays in the spots that had no displays. I couldn't find any, but apparently there are some more displays going up. The park maintenance are adding new stop signs and replacing the old ones in Washington Park. And leaf removal now is going full force at our parks. At the zoo was open to the public for half price last Saturday from 10 o'clock to 3 o'clock. The zoo's first wild winter land. Saturday attracted 237 visitors. This brisk but sunny day generated gift shop sales of $598, concessions of $111, and admissions of $902. The zoo staff participated with a float on November 26th in the LaPorte Santa Parade and last Saturday night in the Michigan City Snowflake Parade. The tiger portion of the Big Cat exhibit might be complete early next week, and work continues at early stages on the lion exhibit. I'm predicting a total completion of that exhibit in early February, and that completes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Shannon. Questions or comments?
I just might like to make one comment about the decorations at Washington Park. If anyone who is watching has not gone down to see that, it's kind of hard to explain. It's absolutely beautiful. So many of the trees, and I don't know how the staff did all of that. And I walked around. I still marvel at how the wiring, where it goes to turn all of this on and turn it off. But the park staff you guys did an amazing job. It's beautiful. It's just, I mean, it's something that people in Michigan City can be proud of. Just outstanding. Pat, and if you would pass that on.
Nice work, Pat.
I had two people, one from Bradenton, Florida, and a business call today, a lady from North Carolina. And they both have been here in the past to see the lights and wanted to know if this year was as good as last year. And I said, better. So they're, anyhow, that lady from North Carolina is going to be out here. And she said she's going to go through the park. That's cool. Anyhow, it's a nice compliment from Florida and North Carolina.
I would echo both those sentiments and also point out that, Pat, you and your department get a lot of recognition this time of year because it's very visible between Washington Park and Franklin Street what you did. But I know you're busy all year between the things that aren't as visible, between the grass, the sand, the leaves, the garbage, the beach raking of the beach with the beach rake, maintenance and repair of everything else. So it's good. It's easy to recognize you this time of year. I just hope we remember to recognize you throughout the year for all those other things that are not as quite as noticeable than the bright lights. So you're welcome. Other questions or comments for the superintendent? Any vandalism?
No vandalism to speak of.
Very good.
Mhm.
All right, it's time for the liaison reports. I'm the Plan Commission liaison, and we have not had a meeting since our last meeting. Port Authority, Mr. Freeze.
I was out of town picking up the person from Bradenton. But I did talk to Sam Ferguson, and he said there wouldn't be anything on the agenda that need to be there.
Thank you. And Zoological Society, Mr. Lang.
The Zoological Society characteristically and traditionally uses the December meeting as a Christmas get-together, which they did last night. So as far as this reporting the dinner and that's what transpired.
Thank you, Mr. Lang. And Attorney's report, Ms.
Nothing
Newberg.
to report.
Thank you. Any director's reports tonight?
No, sir.
All right, we'll right back to Mr. Lang for Department of Finances.
Michigan City Park Department claims docket for December the 7th, 2022. Municipal, $76,381.31. Golf petty cash, $345.60. Zoo endowment, none at this time, bringing total claims $76,726.91. I so move that we approve the claims docket for December the 7th, 2022.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Payroll number 23 with a pay date of November the 18th, 2022. Total payroll, $68,163.24. I so move that we approve payroll number 23 for 2022.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Under gifts and donations, Unity Foundation of LaPorte County, zoo donation, fallow deer fence, $1,725.71. Unity Foundation of LaPorte County, zoo donation, river otter concrete, $1,282.06. Jones, zoo donation, share the care, $65. Jones again, zoo donation, share the care, $65. Smith, zoo donation, miscellaneous, $9.55. I so move that we approve these gifts and donations.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Under minor transfers, Zoo Fund 2056.504, a decrease in account 422, Zoo Food $7,760, decrease in account 439.090, contractual $6,000, increase in account 423, building material, $6,360. Increase in account 435.040, water, $6,000. Increase in account 423.031, small tools, $100. Increase in account 429.001, other supplies, $300. In recreation fund 2056.503, decrease in account 435.010, electric, $700. Increase in account 432.040, telephone, $300. Increase in account 439.090, contractual, $400. In administrative fund 2056.502, decrease in account 423.021, repair parts, $500. Increase in account 421.005, office supplies, $500. Senior Center Fund 2056.506, decrease in account 435.010, electric, $600. Increase in account 435.040, water, $300. Increase in account 435.050, sewage, $300. I so move that we approve all of these minor transfers.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Under Board of Works bills, none at this time. Under zoo endowment bills, none at this time. Credit card charges totaling $2,817.11 were paid to corporate payment systems for aachristmas.com, maintenance, rope, holiday lights, $301.88. birddog-lighting.com, maintenance, rope, holiday lights, $622.59. aachristmas.com, maintenance / rope, holiday lights, $598.91. Amazon.com, zoo Grinch costume / holiday backdrop, $122.48. Amazon.com, administrative office chair mat, $39.49. aachristmas.com, maintenance / rope, holiday lights, $1,055.78. Amazon.com, maintenance / rope, holiday lights, $75.98. I so move that we approve credit card charges totaling $2,817.11.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
And that ends the financial report.
Thank you, Mr. Lang.
You're very welcome.
Overtime tonight. Any comments from the public tonight?
Am I going under public?
Either one.
Yeah, I just want to make a couple of comments about some of the information that came out tonight. And just wanted to talk about, first of all, happened with the zoo and the new exhibits that we're talking about, the senior center renovations. Where I'm coming from when I'm talking about these things, revenue. Hopefully that senior center, we can go all the way and get that backside done where we can move those offices and have a view. It was $27,000 or so. I know we're going to go in front of the ARP committee, whether it be ARP or Riverboat. That's $27,000. I think that'd be well spent to finish those renovations off, because I think that's going to really knock up the revenue in the senior center. And just, we've done one additional appropriation from the Riverboat this year. You listen to council meetings, it sounds like we've done that a gazillion times. We've only done one. And that was for the airport things going on out there. So ARP, Riverboat, one of the two, we should be able to get this funded, and I hope so.
Awesome.
Lights down Franklin. Now you guys put those up as well? Is that what I heard? Okay. Glad to see those back. I had a meeting on a Saturday morning with a business owner at Lakeshore Coffee, and they were talking about the effect of not having lights that had attracted people down there through the winter months and that for their business. They saw a significant decrease with the lights not being down there in terms of some of their business. So I'm sure all of the business owners are happy down there with the lights coming back up. More people in the businesses, good thing for Michigan City. And I wanted to point out something that the superintendent said regarding winter operations and what happens in the winter when the golf course is not in use. You know, when the city departments are down and some of those things they do, they're doing a lot of maintenance and keeping up of things through the winter time to be ready for the spring. So it's not like they have time off and their days off. They are busy. And I'm glad you mentioned that so people can see, you know, that they're pumping year round. So I'm glad you pointed that out. And I think I'm going through all my notes here that I was scribbling throughout the meeting. I think I covered them all. I did. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Dabney. Any other questions or comments? I had one. Ed, I forgot to ask you during your superintendent's report. You report on the golf course. And during this downtime, at one point, we had talked about maybe reconfiguring the clubhouse and the concessions. Has there any more thought been given to that? And if so, would this down season be the time to do it, or is that not really in, are we not considering that?
That's a good question, and we are considering it, and it is a good idea. It probably will increase golf revenue. However, there are a few items that need to be repaired on the facilities, and number one is we're going towards the repair of the cart storage building because the roof leaks and it will be quite expensive. So we're going to take care of that and maybe some exterior aesthetic items on the north course. And then we are considering moving that, maybe that point of sale bench into the other room, the concession room maybe, and making that a lounge. And I think that is a very good idea.
It sounds like there are other priorities before we get to that.
A little bit, yes.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Any other questions or comments? If not, our next meeting will be Wednesday, December 21st, 5 o'clock right here. We have a motion to adjourn.
So move.
I think that's it.